मेरा दिल बदल दे, मेरा दिल बदल दे।
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters in Islam and brothers and sisters in humanity. Today I want to share with you guys a piece of Islamic wisdom which is related to a Hadith Qudsi, and most of you already know what Hadith Qudsi means. It's something in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly speaks to believers and humans through Prophet Muhammad, of course, but that's not a part of Quran. So in that Hadith Qudsi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "O son of Adam, search for me, and if you will find me, you will get everything." In other words, it means that if you have Allah in your life, but you got nothing else, it's like you got everything. But if you don't have Allah in your life, but you got everything else, it's like you have nothing in your life. But for the very first time when I heard that hadith, I was like, okay, I believe in that hadith, but at the same time, it wasn't making sense to me, and deep down I was confused, like, oh, okay, what if you have Allah in your life, but what you don't have money to put the food on the table? How are you gonna survive? If you have Allah in your life, but what at the same time you don't have money to pay your educational bills or home bills? So I believed in that, but it wasn't making sense to me. So this is what the job of believer is. Even if a verse from Quran or any Islamic injunction or a Sahih Hadith, if it's not making sense to you for the timing, your job is to practice it blindly. Did I say blindly? Yeah, I do mean it. You have to do it. You have to practice it blindly. And inshallah, when you will practice it, when you will put that thing in your life, I'm talking about a verse from Quran, Islamic injunction or a Sahih Hadith. I'm not talking about anything from any scholar which wrongly guide others. So when you will start doing it blindly, when you will start practicing it, when you will do efforts to put it in your life, one day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reveal the wisdom and the logic behind that hadith or verse upon you, inshallah. So this is what actually happened to me. Like, I started doing efforts to put Allah in my life. I started doing efforts to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and alhamdulillah, it revealed upon me what that hadith really means. So I would share with you guys now how I perceive that hadith now and what that hadith really means. But for that purpose, I want you guys to think about for the short period of time that why we work hard day and night. Most of us would answer like, I work hard to get good food, I work hard to get good dress, I work hard to get good home, I work hard to get a good ride, I work hard to get good future for my children's. And ultimately, all that struggles to get all that things for what? To get a good peace of life, to get a happy life, to bring prosperity in our life, and most of the all to get contentment for our hurt. But trust me, brothers and sisters, even if you have all of that stuff, if you got every single thing, you can never have the contentment from your heart if you won't have Allah in your life. And why I mean Allah in your life? Because when you will have Allah in your life, and by saying Allah in your life, it means that you will have love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your life. So when you will have love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your life, it will help you to have a full stop on your desires. It will have a full stop in your heart that I won't compete with my fellow brother or sister. Like, for example, what's happening today, that okay, I got a one Mercedes, or I will look at my neighbor, I would look at my fellow brother, oh, he have two Mercedes, so I should work hard to get three Mercedes. For example, if my cousin have three homes, I would look at him and I would get jealous, and I would say, oh, I should work hard to get four homes. So this is what's really happening today, and we want to compete with one another, and we want to get more from one another. Like, this is creating restlessness in our lives, and that's why we're not happy. This is what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in one of his hadiths. He said, even if a son of Adam would have one value of God, he would desire for another one. And his stomach can't be filled, but a dust can fill his stomach. So I'm not saying we should not work hard. I'm not discouraging hard workers. I'm not discouraging to have good, huge wealth. But my point is just not to get blind in earning more and more, so that we should start competing with one another. So this is what Prophet Muhammad meant when he was saying to Abu Dhar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, "Innamal ghina ghina'ul qalb." No, Abu Dhar, No, no, Abu Dhar, being wealthy doesn't mean that you have plenty of food and plenty of money. Being wealthy means that you have contentment of heart. It's like no memory of the past and no thought of the future should upset you. So this is what's happening today with us. Like we have, despite having plenty of food, despite having good education and security and shelter, we are still stressed. We are still feeling restlessness. I want more and more and more. And if you have nothing, even if you have nothing, you have Allah in your life, you will be happy. You will be happy on the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the will of Allah. That is the will of my Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I should be happy. This is what the job of believer is. And I was listening to a scholar. He said that, I'm copying it. He said that one of the solutions to avert and divert financial depression is to convince yourself that Allah is sustainer. And when you have convinced yourself that Allah is sustainer, the fluctuation in currency and the wrong prediction of economists would not make a difference to you. So this is what really that hadith means, that when you have Allah in your life but you have nothing, it's like you have everything. Why? Because you would be convinced that Allah is the controller of everything. Allah is the sustainer. And if you have everything but you don't have Allah's love in your heart, there won't be a full stop. You would keep competing with one another, you would keep getting jealous, and that jealousy would lead you to get more and more and more, and you will feel restless unless till the day will come that you will be in your grave. So the world we are living today, Prophet Muhammad predicted 1400 years ago. He said a time will come that a man would concern about only his stomach, and his qibla, his direction, would be woman. And the wealth would be attained to get honor. Wealth would be considered a sign of honor. And his iman would be money. Money would be his iman. So his faith would be money. So aren't we living that world today? Isn't that happening really? And Prophet Muhammad said people like that are the worst people would be the worst people of that time. So we should analyze one another by comparing with that hadith, and we would get the answer by ourselves. Are we living that life? Most of us are living that life. So I will conclude my talk with you guys now, that we do work hard to get luxuries in our life, and we want to get these luxuries in our life so that we should have a happy life. But why despite getting every luxury in our life, why we're not happy? Because we don't have Allah in our life. So this is what that hadith really meant. That if you have Allah in your life, if you have everything in your life but you don't have Allah, it's like you have nothing. Because being happy is everything. So if you're not happy, it's like you have nothing. So happiness and contentment is divine from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but not from that materialistic things. So I hope whatever I said makes sense to you, and whatever we listen, may Allah help us to practice. Assalamu alaikum, jazakallah khair.
बदल दे मेरा ग़फ़लत